All right, what is going on? So I don't know how this video is gonna work out. I honestly don't know what we're gonna find back in the bush here today, but I'm gonna go look for possibly some shed antlers. I don't know, just go for a walk, little hike in the bush. I just pulled up to an area that I've been hunting for the last probably 6 or 7 years. And pulling in here this morning, I noticed about a quarter mile over, they just dug a new gravel pit, which is kind of interesting. It might work in our favor, it might be pushing some deer, it might have pushed some deer back, but it looks like it was pretty recent, like over the winter. I wasn't here in the fall, so it's good. It's going to be interesting to see if the deer are still in the area or if all that noise kind of pushed them back somewhere. But we're starting out probably about 1.5 miles back off the main road from where that new pit was dug. And I'm gonna walk in even further and just try and get on a deer trail. And there's a few bucks that we know made it through hunting season this year. So we're hoping to maybe find a shed off of a couple of really big bucks we know are still around here. I know the paths they travel, I know where they're going for food. They shouldn't have moved much from the time we were hunting them in the fall till they dropped their antlers. So we'll see what happens here. Like I said, I'm not really expecting too much. It's kind of a shitty day outside. We got some snow and ice and it's cold. Truck's reading -4 right now, but like I said, we'll see what happens here. Figure we'd film everything we can. Every time I go outside, I'm gonna bring the phone with me here and take you guys along for the ride. And what makes the cut makes the cut. What don't make the cut don't make the cut. You know, that's just how she goes. But we need content, so fingers crossed. It's gonna be some antlers in this bush. Feeling good. All right, we made it in. First little bit of the hike is out of the way. Still a ways to go yet. That was about 3/4 of a mile in. We're still got about a quarter mile before we get into any juice, or I think we're gonna find anything. Or I think we're gonna find anything. Cows have moved in, so at least I got some paths to follow through the bush here. We're just gonna keep walking until we find some sign of deer trail and just follow those trails and see what happens. This whole area is just kind of a giant like feeding area. It's a big cutout in the bush here. I guess back in the day they used to cut it and hay it. And the cows come in here, the cows graze it down. It stays pretty low to the ground, pretty low grass, nice green grass. A little bit of wild oats mixed in there and whatever else. Lots of oak trees in the area too. I know the deer like the acorns. But yeah, a little ways to go yet. We're gonna walk the edge of that swamp behind me. There's a pretty good trail down the side of that swamp. We're gonna walk that. Found one there in the fall, actually, a shed when I was out with my buddy Josh out here rifle hunting. So we'll walk that edge of that swamp, see if we can find some bedding areas and just work the trails between the bedding areas and where they come out to feed here and see what happens. Fingers are crossed, hoping to find something, even a sign. A deer track right now would be nice. Saw a chicken on the way in, but yeah, we're gonna keep going here. We'll check back in a little bit. Well, we got our first find of the day. It's not what we were looking for, but it's always fun to see what the heck's going on in the bush. There's a few prairie chicken feathers. Looks like a Yodi. Yodi got to this chicken faster than he could fly away there sometimes this winter. Here we go, that's a nice feather. Take that home for the girls. Nice. Prairie chickens. Prairie chickens. We're good. treacherous here. Come on, if you were a deer, where would you hide your horns? Oh. Sticks in the eye. Well, we're on like mile 3.5 now here. As much as I want to keep going, I don't want to push the deer back too far, even though it's not hunting season. I don't want to push them off their bedding area. We're kind of getting pretty close to that. I think we're just going to do a couple of zigzags back towards the truck and then go a couple miles over, check the field where I know they go graze during the day sometimes in the fall, and maybe there's some bales left out there. Check around the bales. Walk the fence lines. Fence lines are always a good place to look. Anywhere on the trail, they're going to duck down. Yeah, it's been a hike and a half. Found some cool shit though. Some remains of a cow that must have been killed the last couple of years. Never seen that before. This area that I hunt's probably about 7 square miles. And a lot of the stuff that I hiked today, I've honestly never set foot on. So it was kind of interesting to see everything else that I could have been missing the last 7 or 8 years, you know. It's been a while since I shot a good buck, so probably have been missing out on the better of the land here the last few years. But it's definitely an adventure to get to it, that's for sure. We'll have to come back out here the coming weeks with the wife and the kids, and maybe in a few tree stands start hanging some stands here. Got some stuff ready. Definitely found lots of activity though back here. Like I said, never been back to a lot of the area that I was at today, so it's good to it's good once in a while to, especially out of season, or you know, you're not worried about spooking the deer too bad, you know, go for a little adventure, see what you're missing on your land, go walk the stuff you haven't walked before, you know. Like, you never know what you're missing, right? And I know in the last few years we've probably been pressuring these deer quite a bit on the areas that I have been hunting them with a few buddies, and maybe they have pushed back and they're starting to avoid us. Deer are a lot smarter than people think a lot of the times, so humans are not the smartest breed or species on the planet, I should say. That's for sure. I've been outsmarted many times by fish and animals, so we all know that. But yeah, we're gonna start heading back to the truck. Check back in when we get back to the truck. Let's go check those bales in the field and see what happens. I just gotta make one quick stop, get some permission from a guy. I got permission for fall time to go on his land there in the field, but now it's not hunting season. They might have some eyebrows raised as to why I'm in there, so I'm gonna do the good deed and go stop by, say hi, and make sure he knows that it's me in there, not just some random walking through his field. That's kind of the respect part of the whole hunting thing, you guys. You don't have your own land. Crown land, but you know, you're gonna hunt someone else's property. Just because you got a hunting season permission doesn't mean you got permission all year round to go hiking through there. So make sure you got all your eggs in your basket all together, and you're not missing any pieces there, because that could wind you up with quite the ticket. So but yeah, we're gonna zigzag back to the truck. Starting to see some sign here out in the opening, so see what happens. Turns out the owner of the other land that I was gonna go hiking on there wasn't too fond of me walking through his property outside of hunting season. But that's why you call and you make the call and you ask, and that's why you gotta have all your eggs in the basket. And you know, you gotta make sure you got permission to go on these properties before you just start hiking on. Just because you had permission 6 months ago doesn't mean you have permission now. So that's a bit of a bummer. We killed the last couple hours of the afternoon here. We went over to some crown land. We hiked in. Didn't see much for activity. So that's it for this, and pretty unsuccessful shed hunt if you ask me. But hey, like, if you guys, like I said before, you have any pointers, anything you guys want to add to this, like, shoot me a message, whatever, let me know. We're gonna try to make this as good as we can with what we have to offer. And yeah, like, unsuccessful, yes, but at the same time, it was a good time to be out in the bush. Found some stuff, explored some new territory. It was, you know, better than sitting at home, that's for sure. So yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna upload this video or not. I guess if you see it, that means I uploaded it, but I don't know. I might not upload it. It was pretty shitty. Yeah, we'll see what happens next time. Get outside, folks.